Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Boss Labs, and I'm here in the studio today with my MacBook Pro 16-inch and my iPad Pro 2018 because I'm going to show you how you can use these two devices to be a kind of a dual monitor setup for Premiere Pro, not just for anything you're doing on your computer, but specifically using your iPad Pro to be a full screen monitor for your program monitor or your source monitor within the program. And it's really simple. So you can do this two ways. You can have your iPad be your monitor or your second monitor to your computer, either wirelessly or with a wire. You're gonna need a USB-C cable if you wanna do it with a wire. And that's gonna give you less lag, less stuttering in the image, all that kind of stuff. But I haven't had too many bad scenarios, issues with wireless. There is the occasional stutter, so that's something you might have to deal with. But this setup's good for traveling when you're used to using two monitors and you happen to have both devices, because if you're in this ecosystem, then you might be just buying everything Apple like I do, but it's gonna help you out in any case. Sometimes if you have a client, you can plug it in wirelessly and have the client be looking at the program monitor while you're making edits, things like that. And it kind of just will aid your workflow if that's something that you want. So let's get into it. It's pretty quick and it's pretty easy. So here we are. We have our MacBook Pro and our iPad unlocked, and they both have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled because we're going to be doing this wirelessly for this example. And all we have to do is go to AirPlay on our MacBook Pro. We're going to look for our iPad, and here it is. We're going to click that real quick and give it a second, and our iPad Pro should become our second monitor. And here it is. As you can see, my mouse is kind of floating on this side. I can switch over to this side. Now, what I like to do here is I like to go to the system preferences, and I like to adjust a couple of things. Sometimes by default, it's gonna have different settings here, and you're gonna wanna adjust for the best viewing experience for yourself. I think the first time I tried this, it was using the iPad's resolution as the resolution for both displays. So my text and all my screens were really, really big on my MacBook. So you're gonna wanna change that, but you can also adjust your arrangement depending on where you're gonna put your MacBook and where your iPad is in relation to it, whether it's gonna be next to it, either on the left or on the right side, above it, things like that. So I like to make those settings and change those as I see fit. And then I like to go to sidecar settings, and I usually turn all these off. So if I click on one of them, you can see on the iPad Pro that I'm gonna get the sidebar over here for touch control. So when it comes to me using this as a second monitor for Premiere Pro, I don't like using that. So it's cutting into my real estate over here, and I wanna have as much space as I can to view my program monitor on the iPad Pro. So I turn this off, and I also turn off the touch bar, take all of those settings off, because all this is with Premiere Pro is gonna be just a monitor for the program or the source that's in Premiere Pro. Now, those settings are set. My monitor is on my left side. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Premiere Pro. Here's some footage of my friend Christian, and he was fixing up a bike. I was shooting with my iPhone 12 Pro Max just to kind of test out the footage, but here it is in Premiere. Currently, we have nothing going on our iPad Pro. It's still just a second monitor that we're not using. So we're gonna go over here to Premiere Pro, and then we're gonna go to Preferences. We're gonna click Playback, and here you're gonna see a couple monitors right in the middle. First one's our main display, and our second one is our iPad. We're gonna go ahead and click the box next to the one that is our iPad. And down below here, there's a little checkmark box that says Display Video Output when in the background. I usually leave that checkmarked because if I'm in another app, I like to just know that it's gonna minimize on the iPad Pro, and I'm not gonna be seeing my program monitor when something else is running on my computer. And when I switch back to Premiere Pro, it switches back to showing me what's on my timeline or in my source monitor. And from there, we're gonna click OK. And then, as you can see, my iPad Pro is now displaying my program monitor on my timeline. And it's doing it wirelessly, which is really cool. I click play, and they're both playing at the same time, real time. But it's not just the program monitor that's over here on the MacBook. If I'm checking B-roll from some of my other shots and I switch over to the source monitor, it's gonna display it on the iPad Pro as well. See, now it's showing me what's in my source monitor. If you wanna make in and out points for your footage, things like that, click through, kind of scoping it out, you can be checking it. We switch back to our program monitor and it switches back. So that's pretty much it. Real simple, real easy. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you buy their products like I do, then you can take advantage of things like this to help you with your workflow when you're out of town or out of the office or out of your home office nowadays, and just kind of be more productive. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial today, this little step-by-step. If you have any questions about it or any comments, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time.